So John Brain joins me now from the capital, Riyadh. Hi, John. So what were the key takeaways from Trump's speech?
Well, Nigel, I think it was certainly the most serious speech we've heard from Donald Trump since his election. In fact, a very different person altogether, seemed far more presidential here on the foreign stage than he has back at home, perhaps. But he had said it all along through his election campaign and on being inaugurated that combating terrorism was his #1 goal. And that's the message he brought with him here to Riyadh. But he made it clear to the audience that he was speaking to that it wasn't about imposing American values on others.
We are not here to lecture. We are not here to tell other people how to live, what to do, who to be, or how to worship. Instead, we are here to offer partnership based on shared interests and values. Above all, we must be united in pursuing the one goal that transcends every other consideration. That goal is to meet history's great test, to conquer extremism and vanquish the forces that terrorism brings with it every single time.
And in a departure from previous American policy, particularly under the Bush administration, he made it clear that America won't be intervening to combat terrorism itself, but it will be giving support to these other nations to combat it in any sort of support they want. And that includes an agreement made today to tackle the financing of extremism. But President Bush did also very much put the onus on these nations that they have to do more in their own backyards. He talked about them driving the extremists out of their places of worship, driving them out of their communities. Very much the onus being on them to do more to combat terrorism, to prevent the squandering, as he described it, of future generations.
And John, what is your impression how this speech is going to be taken by the world leaders there?
Well, one thing they'll certainly be welcoming is his comments on Iran. He talked about Iran as being a major sponsor of terrorism ever since the fall of the Shah. He said that the other nations had to work together to isolate Iran. So that part of it will certainly have gone down well. As for the rest of the speech, it really depends on whether these leaders feel they were being lectured, whether he was, despite saying he wasn't trying to impose the American will on them, whether they feel that this was about collaboration or it was him hectoring them and telling them they've got to do more to fight terrorism. I think that's something that will only emerge, really, that reaction, in the coming hours and days.
Thank you for that, John Brain, there from Riyadh.